We're gonna step away from the. We're gonna sidestep away from a cemetery, and we're gonna take a look at an old house that's been redone and still in pretty good shape, almost original shape too.
Welcome to the Liberty Bell House. My name's Scott. Glad to see you guys make it out here. This is the house I purchased back in August, and it was built originally in 1883. Newton P. Carricker was the gentleman who built it. He was an insurance agent and a fertilizer salesman here in the town of Talbotton. It's been put on the National Historic Registry of Historic Places in 1983. It was started in 1980. It's a long process, so it is a historic home. I try to keep most of the house original to what it was, but there are some, over the years, I think I'm the 7th owner, and over the years some things have been changed. Of course, the house did not have electricity originally. It probably ran off of firewood and candles, but then they upgraded to gas, I believe in the 20s, and then it had its own cordite generator out here on the side of the building, of the house, and then it was I think somewhere in the 20s upgraded to electricity. There's still knob and tube wiring up in the attic, but I've checked it, it's not energized. Then at the same time, I know for sure the next generation of wiring, that cloth wiring, came through, and then in the 1980s, another gentleman down the road here who owns a heat and air, he is the brother-in-law of Dr. Bassett. He rewired the house so that you got 12-2 with ground and everything. So it's got two 200 amp circuit breaker boxes in here too. He overdid it, and I'm glad.
Yeah. Look at these boards right here, Robert. Look at these wide floorboards right here
with square nails.
Yep.
These are original. This room and the master bedroom are the only place in the house where you will see a joint in the board. All the other rooms, it's the full length of the board of the room.
Now this house was built in
1883.
Remember the house? I don't know if we did a video of it. The one in Alabama down there.
Yeah, we didn't do a video of it.
So we got to go back. You enter the front door, hallway.
Sort of like a dog
The rooms were off to each side.
Correct.
4-room. It was originally a 4-room house.
Correct. I would say it was. I will take you outside later and show you that at the same time, 4-room master, the main portion of the house, it did have, I believe it was a kitchen attached to it in the back, had its own building with a breezeway between that. It's the style they built back then. This is actually written up as a folk Victorian, but if you look closely on the interior, it's not Victorian, it's more antebellum. When you got you don't have the big old corner things right here. And this is something that dates back to the antebellum times. But it's all original on there. That's one thing about it, 14-foot ceilings. And this is gonna get replaced. This is modern. The guy I bought it from, he had it hung. And it's got 18 candles on it. And I don't wanna afford the light bill for that. Okay, I just turned it on for you guys. But you come on in here to the living room. This house also it's got 2 main chimneys, and there were 4 fireplaces altogether. So it's got on this side and on the other side. Okay, they mind the TV. We haven't figured out what we're going to do with that yet. But this is our formal living room or parlor, however they were looked at it at the time. It's not as ornate as, some of them would have just a designated parlor and all this other stuff. This was probably a multi-purpose room, okay? Even I did replace the chandelier. And again, it's been a lot of fun getting up there. Those things at the top there are porcelain. That's not wood, and that's porcelain, so it's heavy. And it's anchored in there real well. Most of the stuff we already had. because of where she works at and everything. So it didn't like, we bought this in August and ran out and got a bunch of antiques and stuff. We've been married for 34 years. We've collected a lot of it. These fireplaces were covered up completely when we got in here, and they are, as we speak. My intention is to get them back into a presentable condition, but we're never going to use them because I don't want to light a fire in a 138-year-old house.
Right.
I'm not going to take the chance. So a lot of work still to do. As you'll see, I got projects going everywhere. It's like a boat. You buy it, you start to work on it, start the bow, get to the stern, you got to start all over on the bow again. That's just what it is. As you can see, again, the fireplace is covered up. Okay, so they do have caps up on top of them as well. All right, so I think at one time they had pipes coming down, say the Bassett's did. This was probably originally a closet, as you can see it, but it definitely was because the boards are right there from where a closet would be. They would use somewhere probably in the 50s, they changed that out. Okay. Again, you have built-ins in here. Here's what I want to point out. It's a lot of fun trying to hang 120-inch curtains, but here's the biggest problem: finding 120-inch curtains and then affording 120-inch curtains. Mm-hmm. Well, IKEA came through for us. I couldn't believe it. So no complaints there, except for a standard 10-foot ladder. You can step up on it and barely make it, but no, you got to go up and buy something you need because you don't want to hurt yourself out here. This chandelier, we found this locally. It was given to us by one of the local government facilities. They had it in their back storage room of the house that they had taken over, and when I went to do that service, they ended up giving it to me once I told them which house I was in. So again, I climbed up there and put that one in. It was all there, all the pieces. So it fits accordingly. Of course, you're looking at furniture that most of this in here is family, like our parents, Eve's parents, our grandparents' furniture and stuff. And chairs, they come and go. We redo a lot of furniture repairs and stuff like that. And it's, I'm retired. I've got the time to do it. And I'm a woodworker by trade. So I love doing it. And I've got projects going on all over around here, and some of it for my wife for her business. So that's what we do. Look at the doorknobs. Now there's a mixture. This is original, and some of them you'll see are inside the panel too. Yeah, some of them are inside the panel. So you can see those have probably been updated over the years, but they're still old. And we're not going to put anything modern if we can help it. Some places in the house, there are some modern ones, but that's before my time. This hallway used to come all the way back to right in here. And this right now we're using as storage. In the 1950s, this was the original breezeway. Behind this, they enclosed it and they put a full bath inside there. So now whoever's staying in the front half the house, this is the middle bathroom for everybody. Our daughter's home from college, she stays in the front bedroom, and in-laws are coming this next week from the Philippines. And so when they land here, this will be the common bathroom. And then this is going to be their guest bedroom. And as you can see, we're still getting it ready. This is a carpet that's going to go underneath here. We've got to put it out. They'll have access to this closet. We're going to lock this one because this goes through to the other bedroom, and my daughter's using that one. And you can film just about anything in the house, but you can't film in the closets today. This is a piece of furniture that I've been working on. These railings, every time we get moved, and over the years they've been damaged and stuff. One of the things I'm doing is trying to match some old veneer and fix these little banisters on here. As you see, I've still got some glued up from yesterday because they've been damaged. And then I got to put this whole piece on here. This piece of this Chester door belonged to my wife's grandfather's grandfather. So that's the age on this thing. And it's dovetail drawers, front and back. I mean, it's a nice piece.
Now this was originally the back of the house right here, right?
This was a portion of the back of the house.
So this was the back wall.
I'm gonna say to that portion, yes.
Yeah.
This may have still been a room because some of the evidence we found. Up in the attic, you can see that there was.
I'm looking at the difference right here in this floor right here.
Yeah, you're right about that.
This door wasn't here, was it? The reason I'm saying that, there's not much wear, but Robert, if you look right back here, you can stay right there with the camera. But right here, this
Right.
worn down right here. You can feel the wear right there in the wood. And this is original. This door had a lot of traffic over the last 100 what years?
38.
38 years right through there.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this was the back of the house.
Well,
was this a porch? Was this?
I can show you more evidence in the middle bathroom. You can actually see where the clavards of the exterior wall were. So he's probably correct. I mean, there's a lot of, we just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, getting up in the attic and looking at the roof line is confusing as well because of the changes. All these old houses changed over the years. This bedroom, as it's been used, doesn't have a fireplace, okay, in it as well. We think it's got more to do with the original kitchen, meat storage and stuff like that. We did have a smokestack, not a fireplace, but you know, a pipe going up right in that area. There's a repair in the wood. That's another thing to point out. All these bead boards go the whole length. There's no gaps in them, except for in this room. It's the only place that has it, which is right over there. Is a repair and a decent job. But we're suspecting that this portion had something to do with the storage of goods and everything like that. As you see the different sizes of the doorways. Okay, and they added on somewhere probably between the 50s, the 20s and the 50s. They added on a bathroom for this as well, and they put a clawfoot tub in here, a shower. And so, Mama has it decorated out. There's a mess in here. It's a working house, okay? Laundry room.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Original clavards, you know. And then a built-in for the fuse boxes for the wiring panel. And some storage, which I use as a pantry. I got plenty of storage in this house. But look at the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your attic access?
That's my attic access, and we can go up there if you want.
Yeah, I'm down.
But, you know, it's still a question, Robert.
Yeah.
Other Robert, because, you know, this is an original. This is beadboard.
Right.
This is clapboard.
This was open.
This door wasn't here. This door might have been on the
open.
original back door.
Well, look at the hinges.
Yeah, that's what I say. Look at the hinges.
Yeah.
Those are definitely Victorian. And then here's our kitchen, which we're going to do some changes to this. This was built in, we know for sure this portion was added in the 1950s. Okay. The island, I don't know when that was put in. Maybe in the 80s. Okay. But the cabinets are definitely from the 50s, and we're going to do some upgrades to that, the countertops and everything. Right now, it's working fine for us, you know, but this portion of it is, this is the one we use the most, and we're still painting stuff and, you know, everything like that. It opens up to a nice patio and everything, and it works good for us, everything we've got in here.
Now, I got to say, one thing that's fascinating, and we already talked about all the changes this house has been through over the years, is the fact that your house just keeps going. I wasn't expecting to see.
It's 3,600 square feet.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting
I
to
went
see
from
another
2,000
room.
square feet in Columbus to 3,600. And my mortgage went from 2,200 down to, next month it'll be under 900. This was an open breezeway. So it was a narrow kitchen. Here was a wall right here that went across. And there's a chimney that used to come down right here. This window wasn't here originally. There was a chimney that came down here, and the stack is still up there. And they blocked it off up in the attic. And there's another one that was in the hallway there. They're up in the attic right now. And Eve got her hands on this. The condition it was in, it was ratted. It had a plug in over here and all this stuff. And we wanted something, we wanted to upgrade this, but we didn't want to actually use it as a fireplace. This insert we bought down on 2nd Avenue in Columbus years ago, like 2007. And we've been dragging it around ever since, never had a place to actually put it. And so when you take it had a glass enclosure, but it was all rusted and everything, the frame was. And when I took it down, all the air conditioning went right up the flume and all the heat came down. So I boarded that up, and she already had this, and it's heavy. And I put the glass in there. She still got to clean up from the paint job and stuff. But we put it up here, mounted it, tiled around it, and then inserted the insert. I fixed it so it doesn't leak air. And after we painted it, and it's sitting in there, we found a place for it finally, after all these years. And it works good.
So I can see it out here with the separation of the two houses, or the two structures. Right there, you've got, you know, one there that would have originally been disconnected, and that, and the opening right there. It makes sense now looking at it from the outside.
It's hard to describe it, you know, in my vocabulary, but at the same time, you come up and you actually look at it, you can see it. So you can see the changes, and that's the way they did all these houses. They you know, the way it started out, and then over the years they changed every one of them.
Yeah.
You know, there's hardly a single house that's in the same way that it was at one time. This was the servants' quarters, and it's it had a bathroom and a sink, a toilet and a sink. There is some plumbing remnants here, but of course, long before we ever got here, it's all gone. And then my wife's taking it over. She's in the process of making this her she shed. And some of the wiring's been, there was a lot of exposed wiring when we first got here. So, but it was all cloth wiring and stuff. So she said, keep it exposed. She's gonna paint over that white and then, you know, match it and everything. So it's modern electrical, but it's the way she wants it. It's got a fireplace with it. That, again, that's not usable, but there's not a fire brick in either one of these fireplaces. You know, these are all handmade bricks and stuff, except for the one that was added on in the 50s. So, you know, look at the width of the boards down there.
Yeah, the boards are much different than what you actually, Robert, if you'll move your foot, you can just about get a little glimpse of the saw blade marks. I don't know if you can get it from the angle or not. There's saw blade marks. This was a rough cut. That was a rough cut board.
Well, like I said, this was the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
They had a sink right over here. I don't know if these windows were all here at the time because everybody could look in. And so I don't know the answer to that. When we come here, the guy that had it before me, these back windows had some damage. So he just put what he had on hand, and I told him that would be fine. Just for now, if I want to open it back up later on, I can do that myself. So that's Eve's she shed. I moved with the pace of Scott. And we bought this house, it already had one. So that's awesome. It's built on, looks like